Check. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May we request you to please settle down. So, well, a very good afternoon and once again, welcome to the day one of MEWA India 2025 right here in Mumbai in the Lux venue of Geo World Convention Center. My name is Bhavna Bhatia and on behalf of NDFCI, once again, I'd like to warmly welcome you all to Lotus Ballroom 1, where all the excitement happens, where you get to meet with the leaders of various industries. Currently, we're on the Pistachio Roundtable. It's indeed my honor to introduce all our eminent panelists who are seated on stage, but just if they allow me for a couple of minutes to introduce all of them one by one. So ladies and gentlemen, this particular Pistachio Roundtable is led by none other than Sameer Bhanushali, who's the MD of Ashapura Agrocom Private Limited. Sameer is a pioneering entrepreneur in the agro-commodity sector, driving Ashapura Agrocom, India's leading importer and processor of pistachios and almonds. With nearly 2 decades of experience, he has played a pivotal role in transforming traditional agro-trade. And with his 2 ventures, which is Bazana, which drives innovation in the snacking industry, and TradeBridge, which revolutionizes the agro-ecosystem through digitalization, Mr. Bhanushali's leadership continues to shape the future of agribusiness in India. Let's warmly welcome him with a big, big round of applause and thank him for his presence. Also joining Mr. Bhanushali are our eminent panelists, starting with Mr. Brian Ezell, Senior Director Operations, Seton Pistachios of Terra. Brian has worked in the tree nut industry for over 35 years and has extensive knowledge of growing, processing, and marketing, both the pistachios and almonds. Brian has served in many committees in various tree nut organizations and was recently elected to the board of directors for the American Pistachio Growers Association. Let's give Brian a warm round of applause to welcome him as well. Joining Brian is our next panelist we have with us is Michael Homan, Executive Vice President and CFO of Wonderful Pistachios and Almonds LLC. Mike, being the Executive Vice President and CFO of the Wonderful Pistachios and Almonds, which is a wholly owned operating company of the Wonderful Company. WPANA is the world's largest grower, processor, and marketeer of pistachios and almonds. Mike began his career at WPNA in 2002 and has held multiple positions throughout the company. As the Executive Vice President, he is responsible for leading the company's strategic planning, industrial, and international sales, along with the finance function. Let's give Michael a warmer round of applause and welcome him on board. Joining him is Mr. Behman Haidaripur, who's the Director of Borna Foods Limited, UK. Behman is the co-founder of Borna Foods, a company he established with his brother Behram in 2014. Widely known as the Pistachio Guys, they started importing pistachios to UK before expanding into diverse range of premium nuts. Under his leadership, Borna Foods has secured listings with various independent retailers, and as an entrepreneur, Behram has navigated the complexities of the global nut market, overseeing business strategy. Let's give Mr. Behram a warmer round of applause as we welcome him. We also have Mr. Yasir Aydin, Vice President of Aydin Kuruyemis. Yasir, being the Vice President of Aydin, is based out of Istanbul, Turkey, one of the largest processors of almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, and pistachios in the region. He joined the family business over 20 plus years ago and became the purchasing manager for processing equipment and later the production manager. Currently being the vice president of the company, he overlooks the growth of the same. Let's warmly welcome Mr. Yasir with a big round of applause. Also joining him is Prasoon Bhardwaj, Head Branded Staples, Reliance Retail Private Limited. Prasoon has been a retailer for over 26 plus years now and has lived through the journey of modern organized retailer in India since 1998. He's the head of branded staples business at Reliance Retail, which is the largest retailer of India with both offline and online presence. Prasoon has further led numerous partnerships between Reliance Retail and the leading dry fruits brands, marketing boards in the past years to drive the consumption of dry fruits in India. Let's warmly welcome Prasoon Bharadwaj on the stage as well. Well, after having the opportunity to introduce our August panel, it's time for me to now call upon Sameer Bhanushali to take it forward. Let's once again welcome our gentleman and our moderator to the podium.
Well, thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the very first commodity panel for MEWA 2025, that's pistachios. First of all, I would like to thank all the exhibitors, the sponsors, and the visitors and delegates and esteemed personalities who have blessed MEWA 2025 with their presence. And this is only our second year, and to be honest, I think we cannot believe what we've been able to achieve in the second year itself. So thank you so much. It's all because of your support and appreciation that we have been able to do what we've been able to do. I would like to say that, this is a reflection of the new India. The new India is not scared to take a leap of faith, to take bold decisions. And this is something that happened with us 2 years back, and we took the decision to start MEWA, and look where we are. And this just reflects the new India, which is going to drive the global nuts and dry fruit consumption. So talking about pistachios, right? Since we are in like cricket mode, we just had MPL yesterday, and also I think pistachios is now associated with cricket in some way or the other. I would say that pistachios in 2023 was like Shubman Gill, an upcoming star in India. Come to 2025, it's Jasprit Bumrah, it's on fire. The consumption is growing. It's becoming the next superstar of the nut and dry fruit industry in India. And in 5 years, we think it will become like a legend, Sachin Tendulkar, So for our American friends who have little context of cricket, this is the journey of a cricketer in India, from being a promising cricketer to being a legend. And I think pistachios is on that path. It's a product, it's a commodity that's loved by Indians as a snack. It's high in protein, for a highly vegetarian country like India, it's a perfect snack to get your proteins. So, without getting into the data and the trends and everything, we have such an eminent glitterati of pistachio industry here. I would really like to hand it over to the leaders who are going to take you through the journey of pistachios. Sorry, can you look at this? Yeah, sorry for the glitch. So here's the global supply. I'll just quickly run through the global supply situation. As you can see, it's an alternate bearing crop, and the crops are growing each year. And when you have larger crops, you need more markets to sell. And which other market better than India? When you look at India, India is right now number 1 or number 2 in consumption of most major dry fruits, be it almonds, cashews, walnuts. But in pistachios, we are lagging behind, and there's stiff competition from China, and if you look at the numbers, China is almost 7 times consuming more pistachios than India. We would like to change that. We would want to be the market leader. We would very soon want to overtake China and become your number 1 export market, much like almonds. Back in 2020 became the number 1 export market. India became the number 1 export market for almonds. So let's invite Mr. Mike Homan from Wonderful Pistachios, the biggest pistachio processors and producers in the world. Over to Mike.
Thank you very much. My name is Mike Homan, and I'm happy to be speaking here on behalf of Wonderful Pistachios and the California industry. And we are taking orders today to make India the #1 market, so stick around. But as you heard, California is an alternate bearing crop, or pistachios in California, an alternate bearing crop. We had a record year in 23, and then now had an off year in 24, also a record for an off year. And with that, we've also had an opportunity to have record sales. And if you look in crop year 23, on the bottom of the page is the US market, and then followed by China, which is actually the #1 market, as you heard. We are hopeful that India could reach China's potential in the near future. The next market is Europe, which has been a steady market for a number of years, but had recent growth because of an increase in consumption. The Middle East, there at the top is India, and then all the other markets. And then 24 is down because of limited supply and certainly not enough to go around. So now I want to focus a little bit on growing India. You heard from Samir, there's a great potential here. He sees it, I see it, I think we all do. And let me walk you through some of the things that we see. So in Wonderful's experience, we know pistachios are a great product. People love them, they taste great, they're healthy, high in protein, all of those things. However, you have to get that message out to the consumers. And in India, we're beginning to do that, and it's a message to consumers combined with availability of the product, and that's where we can work hand in hand. And so on here, you can see some of the billboards that Wonderful has done to communicate the protein message, and then also the fact that it's a great tasting snack and doesn't have any guilt. You can eat it, and it's healthy, and it's good for you. Here's an example of communicating the message on the streets of India, making sure that everybody sees it and it's visible in many different locations. Here's another example. It's a simple message. It's 100% taste, 0 guilt, and we're driving home the message that it's good for you, builds the muscles with that protein. Another thing we've learned in marketing is you need a combination of consistency, so you need the same message. You need to drive home that the product is from California, it's good quality, it's consistent, but at the same time needed to change up the messages a little bit. So these are some examples of the protein that I just showed you, but also a couple other examples of how to convey a similar message. Now, as we stand here today and look to the future is quite bright. California is going to have more supply, India is developing, and that's a match made in heaven. So if we look here at the crop in California, the growth is really driven by acreage. So the acreage is planted, the acreage is developing, and as the acreage develops, it's going to produce more. So on this chart, we're showing that over the next 2 years, we're going to exceed the record of 23 and exceed the record of 24 on an on and off crop. And that's really just based on the increase in acreage, as you can see here, getting up to over 500,000 acres. And we're also confident that we can grow markets. If you look at the previous 2-year cycle, it's a significant, or the current 2-year cycle we're in, it's a significant increase over the previous cycle. So we as an industry have been able to overcome the increase in supply. And if we look over the next 2-year cycles, it's between 10 and 12%. So those are manageable increases, and we're hopeful that laying the groundwork here in India will help us achieve that goal. Now, shifting gears a little bit to the basics of pistachio development. So this is the typical phenology. So in California, we measure the chill between November and the end of February, and then we have bloom, nut fill, and then ultimately harvest after that. And I'm pleased to announce that so far, chill is on track, and we've actually met the required chill. So we're anticipating a good crop next year based on those parameters. I want to touch a little bit on, we've focused a lot on snacking. However, pistachios are a great ingredient, and there's plenty of opportunity to grow. So if we talk about, high percentage of pistachios are consumed as an ingredient, and we see that as more of an opportunity as the market develops. We've seen in other markets, you start off with snacks, and then you move to ingredients after that. So there's all types of opportunities. There's culinary, there's baking, sweets, ice creams, etc. And then also lastly, as far as toppings. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brian Uzell, who's going to talk to you more about the California industry. Here's Brian.
Okay, so, Wonderful has always done a great job marketing wherever they're at in the world. And in conjunction with their efforts to grow the demand for pistachios in this wonderful market of India, the American Pistachio Growers Group has also been investing a lot of money in advertising pistachios and trying to grow this market, because we do see the passion and the love for pistachios pretty much with everybody we come across. India is just a thriving country, and we've all heard of all the hopes and dreams of where this is going to grow, and I think we're all very confident with that. So with that, we'll go into. So the thing about pistachios that we've really been noticing, and I know some of it's from our efforts and Wonderful's efforts, but overall it's just, some of this is just taken off on its own, is pistachios have become very trendy. If you kind of look around and see either the PR ads or the social media ads, everybody is talking about pistachios, and it's not just even in from a consumption standpoint, eating these things. You've got, different cosmetics and different lotions. We have even like purses and decorations and stuff, all kind of chasing this green image that comes with pistachios. So it's a good time to ride, because we're getting a lot of air under our wings that we didn't necessarily think we're going to keep moving